Hello everybody! So as we mentioned in last week's video, today we are on fertiliser. So like I said, we are on the block of land that is away from the farm. So we'll hold the fertiliser up and spreading it. We'll cover the whole block in a couple of hours. So I did show in last week's dung spreading video just a little snippet of the fertiliser going on in the field next door to where we were spreading. I couldn't film much of it with the drone because it was raining. As soon as I put the drone up, it started to rain, and you would have noticed on the camera lens there was a few little spots. But we got sunshine today for the first time in probably more than a week since we've seen the sun. But anyway, in that video, a viewer noticed on the front of the spreader tractor was a device blobbing out white stuff, and he said, you know, what is that? What's that for? But what that is on the front of the tractor is a blob marker, so that drops a foam mark in the centre of the tractor as he's driving around, so then that lets him judge his distance for the next bout across, because you can't always see at this time of year when there's not a lot of grass there. You can't see where you've driven, and you know the tractor's not leaving much of a wheel mark where the grass is short. So what that does, it blobs it's foam, it blobs it out in the centre of the tractor, and then when he's coming back for his next bout, he can then judge his distance to see where he is, make sure you don't miss any. So what it is a little, the device has got a compressor on it and a tank with water in and the foaming chemical. So the compressor blows air through into the bottom of the tank and bubbles up through, and creates foam, and the foam rises up out of the pipe and drops down onto the ground where he's driving. So the foam blobber is exactly the same system as is on the sprayer. The difference with the sprayer is the foam drops out on the end of the booms rather than the centre. It was quite a common system back in the old days before GPS and satellites and all that came about. We still use it because we don't have a GPS on anything. It's an old-fashioned system that works well. The foam lasts, once it's blobbed onto the soil or blobbed out of the blobber, probably lasts about an hour. You know, so if you got to go back to the yard to refill with a spreader, it's still there when you come back. But it's completely harmless, just natural, biodegradable, and if you come back tomorrow you wouldn't even see it, you wouldn't know where it was. So this fertiliser's been stacked up next to the straw for a few months. Just a little bit come out in the bag, but that won't cause no bother. ground conditions are pretty good. We can get everywhere we need to. I've just got to be a little bit careful in a couple of places as to avoid the really wet bits. But the 99% of it we're going as we need to. So that's all good news. Some of this block will be cut for silage. Some will be left for graze, or some will be grazed earlier than silage. The heifers will come up here. The in-calf heifers will come and graze this before going home to start calving middle of August-ish. So they'll come up here as soon as we can get them out. We will bring them up. They'll start grazing, and then we will cut the rest of the block for first cut. So once we've took first cut off, this will regrow again, and then the heifers will come and graze the whole block rather than cut any more. Well, I don't expect we'll do any second cut up here. That's the plan at the minute anyway, but plans don't always happen. Right, so there we go. We are nearly finished. Just got one more bag to put in. That will be this block completed. There is still more to do, but we'll get that done over the next couple of days. We've got some sunshine today for the first time in I don't know how long. Today is Monday the 23rd of March, and they say could be turning wet Thursday, Friday, and maybe a bit colder. So don't mind the wet to wash the fertiliser in, as long as it's not too much wet. But we could do without some cold, but can't do nothing about it. So anyway, right, thank you very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.